The Corridor That Whispers. Introduction. In 2025, Marina, a young nurse, returned home to her aging apartment building after a late shift. The entrance was familiar, creaking doors, dim lights, but the corridor to her fifth-floor flat felt wrong, its walls pulsing with faint whispers, names she almost knew. Doors appeared where none should, marked with numbers that shifted, 5B, 5X, 5Z, leading nowhere. The whispers grew, calling her, and her key opened a door, not hers, revealing a mirrored apartment, empty but alive, where shadows moved without source. Her phone buzzed, showing her own voice saying, "You're already here." She fled, but the corridor stretched, trapping her, its whispers now her own name, claiming her as one of its endless voices, leaving her to wonder if she'd ever left at all. Chapter 1. The Entrance. A damp November night in 2025 hung over the city, the air thick with mist that blurred streetlights into soft, sickly halos. Marina, 29, trudged across the courtyard of her apartment building, a squat, weathered block of concrete that sagged under decades of rain and neglect. Her nurse's scrubs clung to her skin, damp from a long shift at the hospital, her eyes heavy, legs aching for rest. The entrance loomed ahead, its glass door smudged, reflecting a faint version of her, pale, tired, alone. She pushed it open, hinges whining, and stepped into the foyer, where a single fluorescent tube buzzed, casting a cold glow over cracked tiles and a bulletin board of faded notices. The elevator was there, but she chose the stairs, avoiding its flickering light and stale air, wanting the rhythm of steps to ground her, to carry her to her fifth-floor apartment, 5B, where a hot shower in bed waited, a sanctuary from the night's wait, the city's hum, the exhaustion pulling at her. The stairwell was quiet, her sneakers soft on worn steps, the smell of mildew and old paint sharp in the air. First floor, second, third. Familiar, unchanged, the usual scuffs and shadows, a comfort in their sameness. But as she reached the fourth floor, a chill prickled her neck, a sense of being seen, though the landing was empty, doors shut, no one stirring. She paused, hand on the railing, listening. Silence, but not empty, a hush that felt alive, expectant, like the building held its breath, waiting for her next move. She climbed to 5, faster now, the corridor door ahead, heavy, its paint chipped, a detail she'd never noticed so sharply. She pushed it open, expecting her hallway, beige walls, nameplates, the faint glow of her neighbor's porch light. But the corridor stretched longer, darker, its walls a dull gray, whispering faintly, a sound like wind or voices, too soft to catch. Yet there, brushing her ears, her name, Marina, faint but clear, a night bending into unease she couldn't shake, the entrance behind her now a threshold to something wrong, something waiting in the corridor beyond. Chapter 2. The Shifting Doors. A cold November hush in 2025 filled the fifth-floor corridor, the building's air heavy, its silence broken by a faint whisper, a hum of voices too low to parse, weaving through walls that seemed closer, older, than they should. Marina stood just past the stairwell door, its quiet click behind her a final note, sealing her in. The hallway was wrong, too long, lights dim, flickering with a rhythm that felt alive, casting shadows that slid across gray, walls not beige, not hers. Doors lined both sides, more than she remembered, their wood warped, unmarked at first, then glinting with numbers that weren't right. 5A, 5B, her apartment, but then 5X, 5Y, 5Z, letters and digits that belonged nowhere, shifting when she blinked, as if the corridor was rewriting itself, playing with her, daring her to walk deeper. The whispers grew, soft, overlapping. Names, please, Marina among them, a chorus under the hum that pulsed in her chest, urging her forward, toward 5B, her door, or what claimed to be, its number steady but too bright, too eager, waiting at the corridor's end. She moved, steps slow, sneakers silent on a floor that felt soft, uneven, like it might give way. The whispers followed, clearer now. Anna, Pavel, Marina, names she didn't know yet did. A familiarity that chilled her, a memory she hadn't earned. She stopped, heart tapping, and the whispers paused, then surged, louder, her name sharp, a call from the walls, the doors, the air. A bulb flickered, plunging the hall into dark for a heartbeat. And when light returned, a new door stood beside her, 5W, its wood-fresh, handle gleaming, as if just placed, inviting her to try it, to turn from 5B, to choose wrong. She didn't. Eyes locked on her door, but the corridor stretched, 5B farther now. The hum louder, a vibration in her bones, her breath, telling her to move, to reach, to claim what was hers, though doubt clawed at her. Was it hers, or had it claimed her? First, she quickened her pace, passing doors that whispered louder. Marina, stay, join. Each one a pull, a weight. The corridor alive, shifting, growing with every step she took. A night bending into doors that weren't there. A path that wasn't hers, leading to a home she couldn't trust. Chapter 3. The Mirrored Home. A cold November darkness in 2025 gripped the corridor. The buildings hum a steady pulse, alive in the walls, the floor, the air, weaving through whispers that called Marina's name, soft but insistent, a choir of voices she couldn't place yet knew. She stood before 5B, her apartment door, its number glinting under a bulb that flickered, casting shadows that danced across wood too smooth, too new, unlike the scratched door she'd left that morning. The corridor stretched behind her, endless, doors multiplying, 5Q, 5R, 5T, numbers blurring, shifting, the whispers louder now. Marina, come, stay. A pull she fought, her hand trembling as she raised her key, its weight wrong, heavier, warm, like it belonged to this place, not her. The lock waited, its slot pristine, and she hesitated, the hum sinking with her pulse, urging her to turn it, to enter, to see what waited. Though fear screamed this wasn't home, couldn't be, not with the corridor's voices, its doors, its will wrapping around her, tightening with every second she stood, every whisper that knew her too well. She slid the key in, smooth, the click loud, final, the door easing open to reveal her apartment, or its echo. The layout was right, hallway, couch, kitchen beyond, but wrong, mirrored, left where right should be. Shadows moving without light, walls bare where photos hung, air cold, thick with a scent of dust and something older, like memory trapped, in time. The whispers softened, expectant, and a light glowed from the kitchen, faint, steady, drawing her forward, though her legs resisted, each step a fight against the hum that filled her, owned her. She called, "Hello?" Voice thin, swallowed, no echo, just the hum, the shadows, the apartment alive, watching. Her phone buzzed, screen lighting, no signal, no apps, just a voice message. Her voice, "You're already here," looping, unstopping, her words but not her will. She dropped it, screen cracking, the message playing still, and moved toward the kitchen, floor creaking, shadows sliding, the hum a tide now, pulling her to the light, to the truth of 5B. A night bending into a mirrored home that wasn't hers, a door that fit her key but claimed her soul, leading to a place she'd never left, or never would. Chapter 4. The Endless Voices. A cold November silence in 2025 cloaked apartment 5B, the building's hum a living force, pulsing through walls that shimmered, not solid, not real, the air thick with whispers. Marina, stay, join, now loud, a chorus that filled her skull, her breath, her being. She stood in the kitchen doorway, the light ahead weak, flickering, casting a glow over a room that was hers yet not. Table reversed, chairs wrong, shadows moving where none should. A mirror of her life warped by the corridor's will. The building's hunger. The hum was everywhere, in her pulse, her bones, a rhythm that owned her. And the whispers were no longer separate. Anna, Pavel, Marina, countless others. All one, all hers. Voices of those who'd walked this hall, opened these doors, become its own. Her phone lay cracked on the floor, her voice looping. You're already here. A truth she couldn't deny, a weight she couldn't lift, as she stepped into the light, toward the table, toward what waited, what had always waited, since she entered, since she climbed, since she was named by the whispers that knew her before she knew herself. She froze. A shadow sat at the table, formless, shifting. Not her, not yet, but becoming. Its edges bleeding into hers. A void that whispered. Her name, final, clear, Marina now. She screamed, but sound died, swallowed by the hum, the voices, the building that tightened, claimed. She ran, back through the mirrored apartment, to the door, the corridor, but it stretched, endless, doors everywhere, 5B, 5X, 5Z, each one, hers, each one open, whispering, calling. No exit, no stairs, just the hum, the voices, her voice among them, no longer her own. She stumbled, fell, the corridor closing, shadows merging, her name fading into the choir, herself fading into the walls, the doors, the endless hall. Morning came, the building quiet, a new tenant climbing to 5, finding 5B empty, no trace of Marina, just a faint hum, a whisper too soft to hear, her backpack neat by the door, her key inside, unneeded. Neighbors muttered, another gone, the corridor's toll. Its voices fuller now. Marina's among them, calling the next. A night bending into endless voices. A corridor that took her, left her name, her echo, waiting for another to answer, to join, to whisper forever in a hall that never ends.